In this video we are going to see how to relate it with the bulleted list control. Bulleted list control is used to display a list of items in organized and unorganized fashion. These items can be plain text, links, or items that can fire server-side event. When I say organized, it means that in the form of this. You can see 1, 2, 3, dash 4, 5. When I say unorganized, means it will come like a bulleted, something like this. So bulleted list control automatically render this kind of UI to you when you specify the items of that. Now let us see the first how to relate it with the bulleted list. How to list items in the ordered list or unordered list from the server side. In order to list items in the ordered or unordered list, we can use the bulleted list control. And when I say server side, I mean that you can also use or you can also list items in the bulleted list using the HTML control. And for that you will have to probably use UL for unordered list and LI, and you can do that. But here we are going to use ASP.NET controls that basically get processed in the server side. So in order to list the items from the server side or using ASP.NET control in the unordered list, we can simply use the bulleted list control, and we can specify your list item. So here our list item is from 1 to till 4. When I will run this page, you will notice that it will basically give us a page that will have 4 items. You can see here that will have from item 1 through item 4. So this is the way to list the items using the bulleted list control. Now in case we want ordered list, then we will have to use bulleted list style equal to numbered. When we will use bulleted list style equal to numbered, what will happen is that this list will come in the ordered fashion, means from 1 to 3, 4 point. You can see that now it is coming item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and it is coming with the number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the way to specify the ordered list using the bulleted list control. Remember, this bulleted list style property is very important in the bulleted list control. Now the next how to relate with this is that how to specify the bullets as a custom image in the unordered list. You might have seen on many websites that instead of showing as 1, 2, 3, or instead of showing a bullet, they basically specify a custom image like arrow. So in order to do that, what we can do is that we can use a bulleted style property of the bulleted list control, and we can specify the URL. So here you can see that I have specified a bullet image URL equal to star.jpg that exists into my folder star.jpg. You can see this star.jpg looks like this, and then we will have to specify bullet style equal to custom image. When we will specify bullet style is equal to custom image, then what will happen is that instead of the bullets or 1, 2, 3, 4, this image will be displayed. Okay, so now when I will run this page, you will notice that item 1, 2, 3, 4 will come with the custom arrow image, or star image. You can see here instead of bullet, a star is coming. So the important property to note here is that bullet style equal to custom image and bullet image URL equal to the the image that you want to appear as a bullet. Now the next how to we are going to see is how to display hyperlinks using the bulleted list control. Actually it's basically very simple. So let us see that. In order to display hyperlinks using the bulleted list control, we can use display mode property of the bulleted list. So if you specify display mode is equal to hyperlink, and then you can specify the list items. So all the list items text will be used as the hyperlink text, and list item value will be used as a hyperlink target URL. So now here you can see that I have 3 items. The first item is .netfunda.com, second is itfunda.com, and third is myfunda.net, and corresponding URLs are also specified. Now when I will run this page, you will see that I will have 3 items in this list, and with the hyperlink. All 3 items will be with the hyperlinks, and clicking on any of the item will send the user to the corresponding URL. For example, let me click .netfunda.com, and you will see that it is redirecting to .netfunda.com website. So the important property here is display mode is equal to hyperlink. The next how to relate with bulleted list is how to fire server-side event by clicking the items of bulleted list control. This scenario is basically very frequently used, where you want to display a link button as a bulleted list, and on click of any of the item you want to fire a server-side event, so that you know that which item of this bulleted list has been clicked. So in order to do that, what we can do is that we can specify display mode property to link button. You can see here that in this particular code I have specified display mode is equal to link button, and on click event equal to fire server side event. So now let us create a server side event as well. So here is my server side event. Okay, now here what I am doing is that on click of this particular bulleted list items, fire server side event will basically execute, and in this we are using bulleted list event argument, and using that event argument we are getting the index of the item that has been clicked, and then we can use the indexer of items property of the bulleted list control and retrieve its text or the value. So in this case what will happen is that when we will run this page, let us run this page. When we run this page, you can see that all these 3 items that is specified into this bulleted list control is coming as a link button. Notice, see the status bar here when I will mouse over on all these 3 buttons, and now when I will click any of the item, then fire server side event will execute here, and it will write selected item text and selected item value. So you can see that when I will click, let's click myfunda.net. So when I click myfunda.net, the text is myfunda.net and the value is http://www.myfunda.net. So this is the way to basically fire a server-side event on click of any item from the bulleted list control. So the property that is very important in this case is on click event, and display mode is equal to a link button. Now the next how to relate it with bulleted list control is how to populate bulleted list items from the server side by providing data source or inserting items. See, sometimes you might have scenario where all the items of this bulleted list is coming from the database. In that kind of scenario, what you can do is that you can specify the data text field and data value field of the bulleted list control, and then you can set the data source from the code behind and then call the data bind method. Let us see that how to do that. Now here is my bulleted list control, and you can see that I have a display mode equal to link button, and on click event we are firing fire server side event, and I have a specified data text field and data value field as we specify in the drop-down list or any other similar kind of control. And then what I'm doing here is that in the I'm going to the code behind. Let me just create the code behind code here. So here is my code behind code, or you can better to say server side code. Okay, now let us see. Okay, so here what we are doing is that we under the page load event we are calling bind bulleted list method. And this is the private method basically, and we are making sure that this particular method will be called when the page will be loaded for the first time. And because in this method we are using data set, so we'll have to use another namespace here, and that namespace is using system.data. Now using system.data we can use the dataset object, and in this dataset object I have first instantiated it, and then using the read XML method we are reading the XML data. Now the XML data is this, the same XML that we are using throughout this tutorial, and here we have departments as a parent node, and there are many departments here. Now once we have read the XML into the data set, we are specifying that data set as the data source of this bulleted list control, and then we are calling the data bind method. Calling the data bind method will bind all the records of this XML file into the bulleted list control. Now you can see that I have specified name as a data text field and ID as a data value field here. You can see this. So all these XML data will be added as an item to this bulleted list control. Now I just wanted to show one more thing here, that how to insert any item in mid of the items already populated through this XML file. So in order to do that, as we had used in the drop down list or any other similar type of control, we have used the insert method and passed the index as a parameter, and the second parameter will be the list item. So here I have written new item inserted as the text of this particular item, and 11 as the value. Now when any item will be clicked off this bulleted list control, then that will fire this, that will execute this fire server side event, and here it will write the clicked text and clicked value of the bulleted list control. So let us run this page and see how it is looking like. Now here is my list items. You can see that all the data from the XML file is being populated here, and because I have written this insert method on the bulleted list control, and I want to populate it at the 4th position. This is 0 based index, so 3 will populate basically at the 4th position. Now when I will click any of the item, then what will happen is that clicked item text and value will be written on the page. So you can see that I'm clicking on software engineering, and it is writing the text and its value. When I click on new item inserted, then it will write new item inserted as a text, and the value is 11 that we had specified here.